Now, from WTHA, a special presentation, Central Pennsylvania's Hidden History, honoring Black history.
Today we celebrate Black History Month by taking a look back at some of the hidden history in African American culture. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amanda Kenny. We begin on the shores of Fort Monroe, Virginia, where the stories are as endless as the drops in the ocean. Perhaps the most important, though, took place 400 years ago when 20 enslaved Africans arrived, taken against their will from Angola. Now, two of those first Africans became servants in the household of Captain William Tucker. In 1623, they gave birth to the first documented African child born in English colonies. The future of these slaves held a long road of discrimination and oppression for centuries. Now let's fast forward to a pivotal point in history for both our nation and the future of African Americans, the Civil War. It was a time many enslaved African Americans braved heading north in search of freedom. And it just so happens Central Pennsylvanians played a major part in the Underground Railroad, which helped them reach that freedom. Morgan Parrish shows us how descendants and historians are making sure the story of their ancestors will continue to be told for many generations.
We've worked, we've struggled, but we survived.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania, affectionately called Billtown, the birthplace of Little League Baseball. But Williamsport is also a town that holds the key to a very important part of Black history, the Underground Railroad.
Lycoming County is one of the most historical sites in Pennsylvania, and I mean, what's beautiful about Pennsylvania is the Commonwealth, of course, is very old. We have a huge history that a lot of states cannot boast about.
Lisa Summers, who now lives in Florida, spent a portion of her life in Lycoming County, working at the Thomas Lightfoot Inn in Williamsport, a place where slaves would go to hide on their journey to freedom.
The home had a doorway that was near the fireplace in the main dining room of the home. And if you did not know where this door was, you could not find it. That's how well hidden it was.
That door led to a compartment behind the fireplace and into the kitchen, where slaves could hide from those seeking runaways.
This is a display we have about the Underground Railroad, showing some of the local landmarks and people that were involved with the efforts here to help people who were escaping slavery.
Those who helped the slaves were known as conductors. They told the slaves where to hide and where their next stop or city was on the Underground Railroad. An extremely dangerous mission, done undercover and in secrecy. A passion for freedom which required the bravest, most dedicated individuals. Daniel Hughes was one of the most important local conductors on the Underground Railroad. He was a local bargeman who took slaves on his lumber barge and kept them in caves near his house, right along Freedom Road. Although you can read about this in the local library like I did myself,
to read about it isn't the same as actually experiencing it.
They used whatever was available to make the operation go as smoothly as possible. Something as simple as this bench.
Legend was in one of the houses in Pennsdale, and it opens up and was used normally for hiding or storing quilts and blankets, but was also used to hide escaping slaves.
It was a very dangerous job.
My uncle Thomas Leonard, because he helped a slave, had to leave the country for a number of years because there was a bounty on his head. And if he came back, he would have been in jail.
The descendants of these conductors and collaborators make sure their stories live on forever.
My grandmother she devoted her entire life to making sure that the community, the schools, she was very big on doing presentations in all of the schools, elementary all the way to college level, on making sure that they were aware of the heritage and how the Underground Railroad went through Williamsport.
Her grandmother, Dr. Mimi Sweeting Diggs, is the granddaughter of Daniel Hughes.
She wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of how big of an impact he had, and thus far, she made sure everybody knew, and it was her life's passion.
And the challenge from one generation to the next is keep the history of the Underground Railroad in central Pennsylvania alive.
We've worked hard to get to where we are now. We've struggled, and that's what has made us who we are today, is the struggles, because from them we have the strength to continue on.
In Williamsport, Morgan Parrish, Hidden History.
Now, as she mentioned, Williamsport is also considered the birthplace of Little League Baseball. But did you know that one of the baseball's best African-American pitchers lived there? In the late 1800s, George Stovey's stats were what baseball legends are made of. In fact, many baseball historians say Stovey was the greatest black pitcher of the 19th century, winning 33 games for the Newark Little Giants in 1887, a record that still stands in the International League. You can find his story and many others on our website, wearecentralpa.com. Just search under the Hidden History category. Still to come, we'll take you to a place keeping the lesser-known culture of Geechee alive by turning back the hands of time.